Welcome, future Band 9 candidates, to the masterclass where we are going to conquer the IELTS Writing Task 2. Look, if you've ever felt like you're putting in all the work but just not seeing the results, you are absolutely in the right place. Today, we're decoding what it really takes to get that top score. So let's just get right into it, shall we? Does this feel familiar? You're studying like crazy. You know your grammar, you have some great ideas, but your writing score just will not move past that super frustrating 6.5. It's a really common wall to hit, but it's a wall we are going to smash right through today. Okay, so let's dive into some of the usual suspects, the common tops that Cambridge IELTS consultants see all the time. We're talking about things like using informal words, using contractions like don't instead of the full do not, or even just writing way too much. Now, these might seem like small things, right? But they send a huge signal to the examiner that your writing style just isn't hitting that academic level they're looking for. And all of this feeds right into what expert Chris from IELTS Advantage calls the panic cycle. You see the question, you immediately start writing without any plan, you get about halfway through and then realize, oh no, my argument is falling apart. And suddenly, you're out of time. Sound familiar? Yep. Today, we break that cycle for good. So, how do we break it? It all starts right here. The secret weapon isn't memorizing a bunch of fancy words or complicated essays. Nope. It's about cracking the examiner's code. By actually understanding the official marking criteria. Let's find out what they are really looking for. And here it is, the official blueprint to your score. Don't worry about the tiny text. We're going to break it down. You're being marked on 4 equally important pillars: task response, coherence and cohesion, lexical resource, and grammatical range and accuracy. To get a Band 9, you have to do well in all 4. And while they're all super important, today we're going to zoom in on the 2 areas where students really struggle to make that jump from 6.5 to a 9, vocabulary and grammar. Let's start with lexical resource. Look at the official lingo here: wide range, natural, and sophisticated control. This isn't just about using big words you found in a thesaurus. It's about using the right words, precisely and naturally. The examiner wants to see that you have this amazing vocabulary that you can control with total ease. And next up, the second key pillar we're focusing on: grammatical range and accuracy. And again, notice the key words from the criteria: wide range of structures, full flexibility, and accuracy. The examiner wants to see you confidently using a mix of simple sentences and more complex ones, and critically, using them correctly. Little mistakes are okay if they're just slips, but overall, accuracy is king. All right, so knowing the code is one thing, actually using it is a whole other ballgame. Let's start the transformation right now. We're going to upgrade your vocabulary from everyday language to the kind of academic excellence that snags you at top score. Now just look at how simple these changes are. We're not talking about learning some impossible, obscure vocabulary. Just shifting from a nice idea to a positive idea, or from a silly thing to a regrettable thing, instantly lifts your tone. That's it. This is that sophisticated academic voice the examiner is listening for. Fantastic. So you've upgraded your language. But listen, the most sophisticated words in the world won't save you if your essay is a total mess. So now you need the blueprint, that perfect structure that makes your argument clear, logical, and just super easy for the examiner to follow and give you points for. And here it is. It looks simple, and that's because it is, but it's so powerful. A clear introduction, 2 distinct body paragraphs where you develop your main ideas, and a nice, concise conclusion. This 4-part structure is exactly what examiners expect. It's what they want to see. Seriously, don't overcomplicate it. So, this is crucial. When you're writing your intro, avoid all the filler. Don't just repeat some memorized phrases you found online. Examiners see this stuff every single day. Vague statements, announcing what your essay will do. No. Instead, be direct, get straight to the point, paraphrase the question, and then state your position. Boom. Done. Now let's get into the main body, the heart of your essay. Every single body paragraph should follow this TEE method. It's a game changer. Start with a clear topic sentence that states your main point. Then explain it. Dig a little deeper into the why and the how. And finally, back it all up with a clear, relevant example. Topic, explanation, example. It really is that simple. All right, you have the vocabulary, you have the structure. Now, this brings us to the final battle: the race against the clock. This is where most people panic, but with a clear strategy, you can turn all that pressure into pure precision. You have exactly 40 minutes, not 1 second more.
40 minutes to understand the question, plan your answer, write over 250 words, and check it. I know, it's not a lot of time, but it is more than enough if you use it wisely.
And this is how you do it. Forget that panic cycle we talked about. You need to adopt this 3-stage battle plan. Spend up to 10 minutes, yes, 10 whole minutes, just thinking and planning. This is the most important part. Then you'll spend about 25 minutes writing, just following the beautiful plan you made. And always, always, always leave a crucial 5 minutes at the end to check for those silly little errors that can drag your score down.
Okay, you've got the vocabulary, you've got the structure, and you've got the time management plan. To pull it all together, you need a system to check your own work. So let's look at the final checklist that's going to put you on that path to success.
Use this checklist after every single practice essay you write. You're training yourself to think like an examiner. Ask yourself, did I fully answer the question? Is my essay easy to follow? Is my vocabulary varied and accurate? Is my grammar correct? When you start to internalize these questions, you start to write like a Band 9 candidate automatically. And at the end of the day, this quote from an examiner really says it all. This is the feeling you want to leave them with. They shouldn't think you're just showing off words. They should think, wow, this is a rational, well-informed person who can build a really balanced argument. That is the voice of a Band 9 writer.
So you now have the masterclass blueprint. You understand the code, you've got the tools to upgrade your language, you have a structure for success, and a strategy to beat the clock. The only question left is, are you ready to put it all into practice and go claim the score you absolutely deserve?